Exclusive contract from Feilu Novel Network Novel. Comprehensive Martial Arts. Opening inventory of top 10 Immortal Cultivation techniques. Su Bai traveled to the world of comprehensive martial arts and obtained the Dadao video editing system. Editing and publishing videos can earn amazing rewards. Su Bai attempted to edit the video of Inventory of the Top 10 Immortal Cultivation Techniques in Kyushu for release. Kyushu Shockwave. Zhang Sanfeng said, "What are these techniques? The old Taoist has lived for 100 years and has never heard of them." Tian Shan Tong Lao. "My master Zaya has not died yet, and has shattered the void." Xiong Ba said, "Do you have any more natural principles?" "I'm practicing martial arts, but the old swordsman is secretly cultivating immortality." Wang Chongyang said, "We can't let that bullnose golden will continue to practice dragon elephant prajnaparamita, otherwise my great song will be ruined." Wan. "Is it possible that the Zhengdao demon sect was originally a family?" Next, Su Bai received amazing rewards. He tasted the sweetness and released one inventory after another. Top 10 Anti-Heavenly Figures in Kyushu, Top 10 Sinister Villains in Kyushu, son of the Top 10 Chi Lux in Martial Arts, immediately caused a sensation throughout the world of Kyushu. Feilu Novel Network reminds you that this novel and its characters are purely fictional. If there are any similarities, they are purely coincidental and should not be imitated. Chapter 1. Avenue Video Editing System. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Comprehensive Martial Arts Plane, Kyushu World, with numerous imperial dynasties. Among them, there are 6 major Central Plains dynasties. Great Qing, Great Han, Great Sui, Great Tang, Great Song, Great Ming. There are also 2 major foreign dynasties, the Yuan and Qing dynasties, lurking in the north. Beyond the vast Kyushu region, there are countless overseas immortal islands, as well as the western regions, such as desert grasslands, Fusan Kingdom, Goguryeo, and other small countries. Between the towering mountains and mountains, there are also complex and intricate forces such as major sects, aristocratic families, and aristocrats. The vastness of the entire world is beyond imagination. Here is Yiguchen, the lord of Baiyun City, who said, "With a sword from the west, immortals fly from outside the sky." In a decisive battle against the sword god Xie Xiaofeng on the shore of the North Sea, he cut through the vast sea with one sword. Here is the leader of the demon cult, Dongfang Bubi, who said, "When the sun rises in the east, only I am invincible," using her daughter's body to suppress the world's martial arts heroes, leaving countless men with no face. Here, there is also the immortal and demon body, immortal and demon, with unparalleled divine skills, as the flower-moving palace master's invitation to the moon. Throughout history, many emperors have wanted to unify this continent. But until now, Kyushu is still in a state of division, and integration, with various regions in a state of division. Several major imperial dynasties and countless small countries have occasionally sparked wars and mutual attacks, resulting in a chaotic army. In the world of rivers and lakes, warlords divide their territory. Naturally, it also made the people of Kyushu quite miserable. Desire for a true ruler to unify Kyushu. During the Ming dynasty, within the 7 Heroes town, looking at the sign of Tongfu Inn in front of her, Su Bai had a bewildered expression on her face. "When I woke up, I actually traveled through and arrived at a world of martial arts." Su Bai is thinking about what to do next. There is a sound ringing in my ear. Congratulations to the host for binding the Avenue video editing system. The host only needs to edit the video to cause a sensation, and the system will reward the host with different values based on the emotional fluctuations caused by the video. This system is easy to operate, and the host only needs to conceive in their mind. The system can extract the scene that the host has conceived, match it with subtitles, and match it with the real situation of the world. A traveler must wear a golden finger, and the law of a traveler is indeed true. Su Bai became excited. Although it is not a traditional story of having a sister in the house, and parents dying together. But having a golden finger is already a perfect start. He is a traveler, after fusing memories. He learned that there were great heroes Guo Jing, Wudang Sanfeng, evil King Shi Zhishuan, Tian Dao Song Ke, and Dongfang Bubi here. Nature knows what world it has come into. Comprehensive martial arts world. He still plans to go to the territory of Dali and intercept Duan Yu's opportunity in the northern underworld divine arts. Perhaps it's a treasure hunt in places such as the Tomb of the Living Dead and the Lingyun Cave of the Great Buddha. I didn't expect the system to arrive. The Dao video editing system. Sounds good, Su Bai was overjoyed. In his past life, although he was just a street thug uploader, he was still very familiar with editing. As long as it is using some past life rankings, foreshadowing, anticipation and other tricks. It may be easy to fool martial arts characters who did not come from the era of information shock in later generations. As long as you make an inventory, it will definitely cause a sensation in this world. This is a world of comprehensive martial arts. By making a few inventory videos, it should be possible to shock and even climax the martial arts masters in this world. Su Bai still looks forward to the stunned appearance of some familiar characters in her past life, especially Huang Rong, Xiao Longnu, Wan Wan, Wang Yuyan and other unparalleled beauties. Soon, a series of titles came to his mind. Inventory of the top 10 Immortal Cultivation Techniques in the World of Martial Arts, Inventory of the top 10 Behind the Scenes of the Martial Arts World, Inventory of the top 10 Ceiling Figures in the Martial Arts World, Inventory of the top 10 Beauties in the World of Martial Arts and soon, after some hesitation. He still plans to first inventory the cultivation methods. After all, the most fundamental foundation of a martial arts world is the cultivation method. Exposing some incredible methods will surely arouse the expectations of countless people. Quickly, Su Bai pondered for a moment and finally came up with the 10 martial arts to be inventoried. After creating a subtitle and narration, we started uploading it. Martial arts techniques are as vast as the sea, anti-heavenly divine arts, constantly emerging. But some of the techniques are beyond the scope of ordinary people's understanding. It can be said that it has exceeded the realm of martial arts and reached the level of cultivating immortality and martial arts. This inventory is to list the top 10 cultivation methods in the world of Kyushu. Note. Sorting is not in order. Soon, Su Bai's mind also began to rely on her own memories. Think about the specific manifestations of these 10 cultivation methods. Subsequently, segments of images were generated, and then the upload began. The Great Song Dynasty. Divided into two major kingdoms, the Southern Song and Northern Song, each under their own separatist rule. To the south of the Southern Song Dynasty, in Dali Kingdom, within the deep pit and lake water in front of the infinite jade wall. Duan Yu stood up from the lake water, soaked all over. Previously, outside the Sword Lake Palace in Wuyang Mountain, he wanted to stop his rebellion and advised the Shenong gang with the principle of peace. However, he was coerced into taking the heartbreaking powder, within 7 days, travel back and forth to Wanjia Valley to exchange the antidote of lightning sable poison for Zhongling and his life. Duan Yu understood and saved Zhongling, who was being held hostage by others, so he was chased by a group of people from Jianhu Palace and accidentally fell into a cliff. Fortunately, there are waterfalls, springs, and vines below to prevent them from falling to death. How the hell can we get up here? I need to quickly save Zhongling. Duan Yu's eyes went blind as he gazed at the towering cliff, almost going crazy. Unable to climb up, not to mention Zhongling's need to raise her braids. I am also going to starve to death. He dare not shout, afraid of being chased. But at this moment, mutations arise suddenly. Boom! With a loud bang, the purple air from the east surged for 30,000 miles, accompanied by a dazzling golden light shining on the sky. Subsequently, the purple and golden light unexpectedly converged, transforming into a huge light curtain that appeared in the air. It seems like a fairyland on earth. Naturally, Duan Yu was also stunned. What is the situation? Is it a fairy born? I was really right when I came out this time. The Great Qin Dynasty. Within the Grand Palace, towering and towering. In front of a palace, Zheng wore a black dragon robe and a Qin king sword at his waist, demonstrating the dominance of a generation of emperors. Kyushu world, vast and boundless, although there are countless masters, imperial power still reigns. Some rulers of the imperial dynasty all have the delusion of unifying the world. Of course, the Qin Emperor Zheng here did not unify the world, but only occupied a vast land to the west of Kyushu. Of course, at this moment, the Great Qin Dynasty is also considered the top in terms of power among various dynasties. It is one of the 6 orthodoxies. It also ranks among the top 3 in terms of cultural heritage. There are many masters such as Emperor's Master Wang Jian, Immortal Master Su Fu, Luo Wang Zhao Gao, Sword Saint Gai Nia, and Flowing Sand Guard Village. Black Ice Platform is secretly monitoring the entire Kyushu. At this moment, Zheng's heart is yearning. One is longevity. The second is to unify the 9 provinces. P.S. New book upload, seeking big shots to collect, flowers, reviews. Writing a book is not easy, and your support is the greatest motivation for the unknown author to persevere. Chapter 2. Golden List coming, shocked by all. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Zheng is currently ambitious. He wants to accomplish 2 great feats in one fell swoop and rule the world forever. I asked Wang Jian to prepare the He soldiers and horses, reorganize the military equipment. What about leading my Qin Fire Cavalry and Iron Eagle warriors to prepare for the attack on the Han Dynasty? Zheng's gaze was sharp as he looked at Zhao Gao beside him and said. Even Zhao Gao, who was holding a net in his hand and wielding power in the Great Qin Dynasty, trembled in his heart. He hurriedly said, Your Majesty, I have already given orders. General Wang is preparing. And Su Fu. A few years ago, I asked him to go out to sea to search for the elixir of immortality and elixir, but why hasn't there been any news? Zheng said coldly. I don't even know about other families. Last year, Su Fu cut off contact and now he's nowhere to be found. Zhao Gao was also greatly shocked. Hurriedly said. Damn it, useless waste. Zheng was furious. Zhao Gao was so frightened that he kowtowed repeatedly, and Zheng's face softened. He also knew. Zhao Gao is not to blame for this matter. Your Majesty, I have instructed the trapped dead to secretly collect famous medicines and help your Majesty study the elixir of immortality. Zheng nodded and said, You did a good job. But he didn't show much joy. Because this matter was a proposal made by Zhao Gao without authorization. While Zhao Gao was sweating profusely. The sudden change is also sudden. Outside the imperial palace, the sky was filled with purple energy that surged eastward for 30,000 miles, and countless golden lights shot out. The sky above the Grand Qin Palace was dyed with a golden-purple hue. Your Majesty, this is auspicious, which indicates that our great Qin is going to prosper. Zhao Gao also quickly said. Maybe there will be saints appearing in the future. I, the Great Qin, want to unify the world, or Su Fu, can bring back the elixir of immortality. After listening, Zheng was also quite happy. He also felt that this purple aura coming from the east and the arrival of auspiciousness were signs of the appearance of saints. What should be said is him. Perhaps he can unify the world, or live forever, which is to establish himself as a saint. It's not just at this moment that Zheng saw it. With countless purple air currents and golden flashes. Covering the entire horizon of Kyushu. Let countless people and even the emperor live in various parts of Kyushu. It's all about watching these shocking scenes. Is this the arrival of a saint? Did the immortal descend to earth? Unbelievable. Is it necessary to have a true dragon that unifies the world? Everyone began to speculate incessantly. Some even kowtow to the golden purple. But soon, the purple and golden light disappeared, only to be seen above the sky of Kyushu. Surprisingly, a vast and boundless light curtain appeared, as if it were a fairyland. Above, there are even some unknowingly bold characters appearing. Inventory of the top 10 immortal cultivation techniques in Kyushu world. What kind of thing? What are the top 10 cultivation techniques? Cultivation technique. What is it? Are you joking? It should be a very incredible martial arts technique, right? Who made this thing? It's strange. And soon, the golden light curtain changed again. Let Zhao Gao, Gai Nye, Ying and others all look up at the light curtain in the sky. Squint your eyes. Martial arts techniques are as vast as the sea, anti-heavenly divine arts, constantly emerging. But some of the techniques are beyond the scope of ordinary people's understanding. It can be said that it has exceeded the realm of martial arts and reached the level of cultivating immortality and martial arts. This inventory is to list the top 10 cultivation methods in the world of Kyushu. Note: sorting is not in order, and Zhao Gao also became speechless. Inventory cultivation techniques. Where in the world are cultivation techniques from? Isn't this a joke? Although there are some martial arts masters in Kyushu, he has never heard of any immortals appearing. Ying's eyes were indeed cold. Shut up. This is the immortals method, not something you can discuss. On the side, Gai Nye also murmured. Can this so-called cultivation technique really make people immortal? At this moment, Gai Nye also roughly understood why Ying was so looking forward to it. Immortals are seen by many people, representing transcendence of mortals and immortality. If there is really cultivation and martial arts, undoubtedly a beam of light in the darkness. And Ying also looked expectant. Is it true that there is cultivation and martial arts in the world? Northern Song Dynasty, above the walls of Xianyang City. Huang Rong, dressed in military uniform, is at her most mature and charming moment. The figure was curvy and graceful, looking at Jing beside him with a solemn expression. Recently, in addition to the military and horse training of the Qin Empire, the Yuan dynasty, a foreign imperial dynasty in the north, was also constantly launching attacks on the northern Song dynasty. Kublai Khan, who was talented and strategic, attempted to devour the entire northern Song dynasty. During this period, only a small group of cavalry have brought tremendous pressure to Xianyang. If it weren't for Jing's unparalleled martial arts skills, the walls of Xianyang city would have been broken. Husband, if the Mongol Khan Kublai Khan launches a massive attack next, can we really hold on to the walls of Xianyang city? Huang Rong said with a worried and solemn expression. Don't worry, I have already informed Yang Gua, the 7 monsters of Jiangnan, the 7 sons of Chuanjin, your father Dongxie, and other northern Song masters. The court in the southern Song dynasty will also send reinforcements. We can definitely hold on. Jing hugged his wife's shoulder and comforted her. Husband, if you are defeated this time, I will also accompany you to the end within Xianyang city. Don't take a step back. On Huang Rong's face, a resolute expression appeared at this moment, and she said. Upon hearing the news of Mongolia's massive attack, she was already prepared to die in battle. Even in death, she wants Xianyang city to accompany her husband. What are you saying? We will definitely win. Although Mongolia has a large number of people, it cannot be our opponent. Jing quickly blocked Huang Rong's mouth and said. Ronger, what discouraging words are you saying? We will win. In the conversation between the two, the air is also full of sudden changes. Purple comes from the east for 30,000 miles, and there are countless golden lights. It also left both of them stunned. What is the situation? This is too scary, isn't it? After reading the inventory of cultivating immortal martial arts clearly, the two of them were also stunned. Is there really a cultivation technique in this world? I just hope these cultivation skills are really impressive, right? Wudong Mountain, in front of the Zhenwu Grand Hall. At this moment, all the disciples of Wudang Mountain are gathered together, surround Zhang Sanfeng in the middle. They were also stunned as they looked at the golden list in front of them. This is the Immortal's method. Song Yuanxiao is stunning. Everyone was stunned. Master, dare you ask what is cultivation of immortality and martial arts? Song Qingshu also dared to ask questions. Zhang Sanfeng touched his beard and slowly said. The cultivation of immortal martial arts should be a technique that transcends ordinary practices and is in line with the unity of heaven and humanity in our Taoist school. If you practice, there will definitely be great benefits, even immortality immortal. After listening, everyone was stunned and took a deep breath of air conditioning. P.S. New book upload, seeking big shots to collect, flowers, reviews. Writing a book is not easy, and your support is the greatest motivation for the unknown author to persevere. Chapter 3. 10 Great Cultivation Techniques, Divine Illumination Sutra. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Above Wudang Mountain. Everyone looked into the air. They all show a fiery expression. Immortality is not only the dream of Ying, but also the dream of countless martial arts cultivators. And Zhang Sanfeng also said, let all disciples come out to see this golden list and try to understand the martial arts on it. Yes. Song Yuanxiao nodded vigorously and said. The surface of the Great Sui Dynasty, Lingnan, Song Dynasty. All members of the Song family slowly walked out and gazed into the sky. The Tian Dao Song Ke is now the top expert in the face of the Great Sui and Ming dynasties. He wore a white long shirt with an extraordinary demeanor. On the side, Song Wuji was dressed in a blue robe, a small family jade, extremely beautiful. What an incredible means! Who came up with such a method? Specifically to inventory the world's martial arts. This person's cultivation is almost immortal. I don't know if the heavenly sword 8 in this seat can make it on this list. Cihang Jingjai, it is one of the strongest sects in the Great Sui dynasty. It is rare for its descendants to wander the rivers and lakes, and its mysteries are unpredictable. Together with the Jingyan Zen, it is known as the two sacred sites in the martial arts world of the Great Sui dynasty, hidden as the leader of the righteous martial arts world. Whenever in times of chaos in the Central Plains, disciples are dispatched to search for the true emperor and bring order to the world. Now, the fasting master is the once world's most beautiful woman, Fan Qinghui. At this moment, in a quiet hall, Fan Qinghui frowned as she looked at the strange image in the air. Looking at the stunning beauty in front of her, Shi Feishuan said. Purple comes from the east, it's a natural anomaly. I'm afraid the world will change a lot. I suspect that a saint was born in Kyushu. This land has been troubled for thousands of years, and it is time for a true emperor to unify the world. Shi Feishuan, you should immediately investigate the origin of this golden list and the position of the Son of Destiny. Resolve the anger and disputes in the world. It's right with you. Yes, Master. Shi Feishuan, dressed in white, nodded slightly and said. Her appearance can be described as stunning. Of course, her beauty is not the same as that of ordinary people. It is a natural and unparalleled natural beauty that is pure and unadorned, as clear water produces hibiscus and is naturally exquisitely carved. Also, there are rumors that the descendants of the Yin Gui sect will also be born, so be careful. She is a member of the demon sect and a major opponent of ours. We must not let the Lord of Destiny fall into her hands. Fan Qinghui continued his path. I understand, Master. Shi Feishuan nodded slightly and said. Immediately standing up and walking towards the outside. Inside Shaolin Temple. The common people will be robbed again. I'm afraid it's another 60 years of slaughter. Looking at the strange image in the air. The sweeping monk inside the Sutra pavilion became worried instead of unhappy. Even with his cultivation and composure, seeing the supernatural in the air is shocking. It can be seen how amazing this golden list is in the mortal world. Even a group of monks do not recite scriptures or Buddha, but instead run outside the house to gaze into the sky. Amitabha Buddha, is this the manifestation of the Buddha? I'm afraid the world will be in chaos, right? The Great Yuan Dynasty. The Ming Dynasty. The Great Song Dynasty. The Great Sui Dynasty. Xiangyang City, Chuanzhen Sect, Huashan Sect, Kongtong Sect, Xinyan Mountain Villa, Lingzhou Palace, Zhujian Mountain Villa, Tiandihui, Cihang Jingzhai. At this moment, countless martial arts masters, master gaidai, and imperial nobles are all looking towards the golden list. The expression of surprise revealed. And soon, a blurry figure appearing in the air. It's like going to feather and soar to the sky. Shocking everyone. Did he go to transform into a flying immortal? No, isn't it a strong one in the realm of shattered void? Everyone exclaimed in surprise. The light and shadow raised their sword fingers and dashed into the air. Instantly, the sword energy surged out. Silver hooks and iron paintings, dragons and snakes wandering. In no time, a few big characters appeared in the air. Inventory of the top 10 Immortal Cultivation Techniques in Kyushu. The Divine Illumination Sutra of Immortal Cultivation Technique. In the world of Kyushu, countless martial arts masters are gasping for breath. Shenjiao Jing. What is this thing? I've never heard of it before. Countless martial arts experts have a bewildered expression on their faces. This divine scripture is obviously not well known. Not many people in Kyushu know. Within the imperial palace of Duchin, Ying also frowned and said, Zhao Gao, do you know this divine scripture? Zhao Gao knelt down on the ground, trembling and sweating profusely. Where did he know? It took a long time for him to hold back a few words and say, I don't know, Your Majesty. What's the use of you? I asked you to be in charge of the trap and intelligence, but you don't know anything. I didn't raise you for nothing. Ying became furious. But Zhao Gao was also helpless. Kyushu is so vast, how many divine arts and unique skills have been produced, who knows everything? Afterwards, I will definitely send out scouts to search for the origin of these martial arts. Zhao Gao hurriedly said. Cihang Jingzhai. Fan Qin Huidu frowned. Behind the Cihang Hall of the Cihang Jingzhai, there is a bookstore. There is a Zhangjian Pagoda in the Shulin, which houses various classics. They are all martial arts classics accumulated over many years. There is even the Cihang Sword Classic. One of the 4 wonderful books in the martial arts world. The other 3 are God of War Illustrated Record, Heavenly Demon Strategy, and Eternal Life Technique. But for so many years, she hasn't heard of any Divine Illumination Sutra. Shenjiao Jing, what is this thing? Shaolin, inside the Sutra Pavilion. The sweeping monk was also somewhat confused. Even the old monk didn't know about this divine scripture. Wudong, Zhang Sanfeng was also sweating profusely, and his disciples and grandchildren looked curious. But he really doesn't know about this thing. Snow Valley. Blood Sword Ancestor and Di Yun have been fighting fiercely here for many days. Both sides are nearing the point of running out of oil and running out of fuel. But due to the anomaly, both sides temporarily stopped fighting. At this moment, the two of them saw the 3 big characters of the Divine Illumination Sutra. Di Yun also had a shocked expression on his face. The Divine Illumination Sutra. Isn't this the magical technique that Brother Ding Dian passed to me? Di Yun was naturally surprised. Although he has practiced the Divine Illumination Sutra. But this technique did not exert much power in his hands. Soon, Di Yun also looked towards the gold list. And amidst the flying snow in the sky, the Blood Saber Ancestor on the side also looked curiously at the golden list in the air. And soon, he also froze. Because he actually saw Di Yun among them. How could it be you? The Blood Blade Ancestor had a surprised expression on his face. If Di Yun really knows how to cultivate immortal martial arts, isn't he finished? How can ordinary people be opponents of cultivators? Is it because Diyun hasn't learned yet? Or hidden? P.S. New book upload, seeking big shots to collect, flowers, reviews. Chapter 4. The Strongest Internal Skill. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. When everyone is surprised. Soon, there were also golden characters appearing on the gold list. The Divine Illumination Sutra. It is the most powerful and mysterious method among all internal skills in the world. Practicing the Divine Illumination Sutra, one is invincible in the world. This skill is also a medical Bible that emphasizes the profound understanding of nature, and cannot be achieved solely through diligent practice and hard work. It gathers the purest of the world and upholds the most exquisite of the world. It can be said that one can cultivate both inside and outside one of the strongest internal martial arts techniques. Look at the rows of golden characters. Countless martial arts experts in the martial arts world were also stunned. Although it's just a few numbers. But it is also evident that this cultivation method is terrifying. It is definitely a peerless divine skill that countless experts dream of. What a big tone. They are the two strongest skills in the Jianghu, the 9 Yang scripture and the 9 Yin manual. I dare not claim to be the strongest. Practice the Divine Illumination Sutra, invincible hands in the world. Even if it's Shaolin Zhengxin, dare not say it. It's ridiculous, I think it's just nonsense. Medical Bible, you're joking. Can a martial arts discipline still cure illnesses and save lives? Many wealthy Jianghu guests burst into laughter at this moment. I don't think so. After all, they all feel like they're joking. A little-known martial arts manual, claimed to be the most powerful and mysterious among all internal martial arts in the world. How could it be so powerful? Just like the 9 Yin and 9 Yang, Shaolin Zhengxin and other famous works have long been around the world. Amidst everyone's disdain, the figure on the screen also became clear. It's exactly Diyun. I saw that at this moment, Diyun was sitting in a circle, practicing the internal mental technique of the Divine Illumination Sutra. At first, it was no different from general cultivation methods. The way of the primordial world, where the way walks with the gods, is the way of heaven. The revival of all things cannot be separated from the light, and the wandering mind is too elusive. At a certain moment, a crisp sound came from within Diyun's body, piercing through the Ren and Du meridians. Suddenly, a sudden mutation occurred. Diyun, who was on the gold list, suddenly began to surge with true energy, overflowing from the chest. As a result, the internal energy surged. Soon, his whole body was shrouded in a purple aura. His whole body, from head to toe. Even on his skin and hair, there is a constant flow of true qi like water. And every time his internal energy runs for a whole week, his skill increases by 1 point. It seems to be running fully automatically and continuously. It also shocked everyone. What's the situation? Does it seem like it's automatically practicing? What kind of magic skill is this? Is true qi covering the whole body? Incredible. Afterwards, the golden characters continued. Once the Divine Illumination Classic is cultivated to the point of penetrating the meridians around the body, it will continue to run autonomously, and when internal breathing runs for a week, its strength will increase by 1 point, 4 limbs and 100 bones, each with spiritual energy surging and arriving in abundance. Even the roots of the hair are full of energy. If facing the enemy, no matter where they attack from, they will all be subjected to backlash and face terrifying internal power backlash. It can be said that the defense is invincible at this moment. On the screen, Diyun is still practicing. Quickly, true qi surged out of his body. Surprisingly, it forms armor like armor, protecting the entire body. Some places even turn into air walls, which are over a foot thick. Flies have been flying all the time, yet they haven't come into contact with him. Immediately shattered by the counterattack's true qi, it instantly turned into some powder. Then the screen changes again. Countless arrows rushed towards Di Yun. But his face remained calm and unchanged. Even motionless. And all the arrows, without any force, fall to the ground. This scene also scared everyone crazy. Isn't this invincible? Invincible Qi Wall can block all attacks. A divine skill with full defense. Such a Di Yun, one person can destroy an army. Even a strong bow, crossbow, and arrow are ineffective against him. Countless martial arts heroes take a deep breath of air. Startled. Da Yuan Jianghu. On the bright top, Zhang Wuji's eyes lit up after comparison. He found that Shenjiao Sutra was quite similar to the 9-yang manual. Once the true qi penetrates the meridians throughout the body, it opens up the ren and du meridians. There are incredible changes. It can be transformed into an air wall to protect oneself and even rebound against enemies. Is it the 9-yang manual that can also be on the list? Zhang Wuji's eyes lit up. The 9-yang manual can not only be transformed into a gas shield independently. It can also withstand all kinds of poisons and strengthen male masculinity. It's something that men all over the world love. I feel that the 9-yang manual is still against the sky compared with the Holy Scripture. The Great Song Dynasty Jianghu. Inside the Sutra Pavilion. The sweeping monk frowned. Is this Divine Illumination Sutra really amazing? Although he can easily summon the Qi Wall to resist attacks. But it's an active skill. But the Divine Illumination Sutra is always protected by a 1-foot air wall. This passive ability is too incredible. Snow Valley. The blood knife ancestor's eyes flickered with a cold gleam, filled with murderous intent. No, we have to kill him. Otherwise, if he cultivates until he runs through all his meridians, I'll be ruined. In his opinion, Di Yun must die. If Di Yun were to master the cultivation of the Divine Illumination Sutra, where is he the opponent? Directly invincible. But it's also good. Before death, you must interrogate the divine scriptures from his mouth. The blood saber ancestor murmured. Of course, he didn't take direct action. He still looks at the golden list on the avenue. If you want to know more information about this divine scripture, perhaps your weakness. Otherwise, if Di Yun has any trumps, he will be ruined. Afterwards, the screen continued. That is an incredibly dark prison cell. There are cockroaches and mice everywhere, emitting a foul odor. Di Yun appeared among them. Surprisingly, 3 feet of white silk appeared in front of me. Then Di Yun actually hung himself directly. After kicking and struggling a few times, Di Yun in the picture is completely lifeless. What? What is the situation? This scene naturally left many people stunned. Why is it so inexplicable that Di Yun has become a twisted braid? He doesn't have divine skills. Why did you commit suicide? And inside the Snow Valley, Di Yun was also stunned. He also knew that this was the scene before he committed suicide. He was framed by Wan Gui on charges of rape and imprisoned, and he was cut off from his right 5 fingers and pierced through the peepa bone. Meet Ding Dian in prison. He learned that his junior sister married Wan Gui, suicide in despair of life. After committing suicide, he was rescued by Ding Dian. He was also very curious about how Ding Dian saved him. I was already dead at the time and couldn't die anymore. Why did I suddenly come back to life? P.S. New book upload, seeking big shots to collect, flowers, reviews. Chapter 5. Ghostly Fall, Soul Seizing, Awakening from Death. Zhengxin. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Soon, another man appeared in the scene. Wearing shackles, he is also a prisoner. It's Ding Dian. After seeing the hanging Di Yun, Ding Dian sighed for a while and lowered him from the rope. At this moment, Di Yun's body is already dead and cannot die anymore. Even faint corpses appeared. Unexpectedly, Ding Dian let out a long sigh. I can't get out. But I see that you are naturally innocent, so let's save you. Talking to oneself. Ding Dianyin activated his power and began to infuse Di Yun's body. Purple true qi and internal power flowed continuously into Di Yun's body from Ding Dian's palm. Obviously, he is also a character who cultivates the Divine Illumination Sutra. See here. Everyone was stunned. Can Ding Dian also shine on the scriptures? Could it be that Di Yun's martial arts were learned from Ding Dian's place? Xiangyang City. Huang Rong also froze. What does he want to do? Do he want to save a dead person? How could this be possible? My body is cold and hard, and there are also dead spots growing. How to capture someone who is completely dead? She hasn't heard about the resurrection of cultivation techniques. Guo Jing was also surprised. People are all dead, dead to the core. How can they be resurrected? Even the top divine doctor in the world, Hu Qingmiu and Hua Tuo, couldn't save him, could they? Nevertheless, that's all. They still showed signs of anticipation. After all, they also understand. If there is no strength, it's also impossible to become someone who cultivates immortality and martial arts. Cultivate immortal martial arts. Do you still want to resurrect the dead? How is this possible? A person cannot be resurrected after death. I haven't heard that internal skills can save people. Experts from all over the 9 provinces are discussing and not commenting. Even Zhang Sanfeng, the sweeping monk, and others are like this. They see each other again and have a broad understanding, but they don't believe in this matter. But soon changes appeared. With the input of purple true qi from the Divine Illumination Sutra, after a while, the strangulation marks on Di Yun's neck have disappeared, the faint corpse spot has disappeared. Surprisingly, his face also began to turn rosy. What the hell? Suddenly, people from all over the world were stunned. Everyone's breathing is tight. Can't it really be saved, right? How could this be possible? Is this the legendary cultivation martial arts? In an instant, everyone was stunned. Endless shock. No one could have imagined that, the true qi of the Divine Illumination Classic can actually achieve this step. Can the dead be saved? As a result, the chest began to rise and fall, as if breathing appeared. And Di Yun's face also turned rosy, no different from that of a living person. Then the eyelids began to twitch. Cough cough. After another while, Di Yun surprisingly kept coughing and spitting out a mouthful of old sandalwood. And then he actually sat up. Take a deep breath. Surprisingly, a person who had been hanged for a long time really survived. There are also golden characters appearing here. The Divine Illumination Sutra can be regarded as the #1 medical scripture in the world. Can Yuluo snatch the soul, resurrect from death? I saw this scene. Everyone was stunned. Is this true? Is there really such an incredible cultivation technique? Revival from the dead has already surpassed martial arts secrets, or in other words, beyond the scope of medical treatment. Is it an absolute cultivation technique? I am completely convinced. I just don't know. He can resurrect others. Can he resurrect himself? If we could resurrect ourselves, wouldn't we be completely invincible? The entire Kyushu was shocked. Everyone understands why this cultivation method is on the list. Not just powerful and unparalleled defense. The power of resurrection alone makes everyone envious. With this divine light shining on one's body, one can come back to life even after death. It's too scary. Even able to save some people who died around them. Who doesn't want this thing? Wudang Mountain, Zhang Sanfeng looked shocked. There is such incredible martial arts in the world. It is him, the great master of his generation, who is on par with Wang Chongyang as a contemporary absolute martial arts master. At this moment, they are completely shocked. This technique can even resurrect the dead. It's so incredible. He has extensive knowledge and profound knowledge, and he never expected such terrifying martial arts. Master, this divine scripture must never fall into the hands of the Ming sect and the demon sect. The disciple is willing to go down the mountain to maintain the peace of the martial arts world, eradicate the villains in the martial arts world, and retrieve this item, Song Yuanxiao said with great righteousness. Of course, it seems just. To put it simply, one's eyes turn red. The 9 manual of Huang Shang was born in those years, which caused chaos in the Jianghu and triggered fighting. In the end, the ultimate expert Wang Chongyang made a move, overwhelming the other heroes, take the 9 manual away, and then the killing in the Jianghu will subside. And Wang Chongyang also rose to fame, becoming a master on par with Zhang Sanfeng. At this moment, Song Yuanxiao also wants to follow suit and end the disputes in the martial arts world. It also increases the reputation of the Wudang sect. This disciple, filial piety. Immediately, Zhang Sanfeng touched his beard and said, "Okay, you go down the mountain immediately and search for this divine scripture. It's better to have a sword formation of Wudang's 7 heroes together with your senior brothers." "Yes, Master." 7 people, including Song Yuanxiao and Yin Lighting, respectfully said. "Also, bring Song Qingshu with you and experience it." Zhang Sanfeng said. He has already regarded Song Qingshu as the heir of Wudang. "Yes, Master." Song Qingshu also spoke excitedly. Even his mentor Zhang Sanfeng, who openly looked at him without hesitation. There is no master-disciple etiquette at all. But everyone was in shock. No one really cares. Quickly, the 7 heroes of Wudang descended from the mountain and quelled the demon sect killing. And the Grand Qin Palace. Ying also saw everything and gasped for air. The Divine Illumination Sutra, I am bound to win. Ying's eyes showed a resolute expression. He must have this thing. Since we can't survive. It is also good to obtain the Divine Illumination Sutra that can bring death back to life. It can be resurrected now. Suddenly, it made Ying extremely excited. Zhao Gao, immediately lead the trap killer and the secret guard to find this item. If you can't get it, don't come back to see me. Also, tell me to all the people from various schools of thought to help find this cultivation technique together. If anyone finds them and hands them over to me, I will list them as the top of the 100 families. Dismiss 100 schools of thought and revere this sect alone. Yes, Your Majesty. Zhao Gao quickly knelt down and said. He also saw that Ying's momentum was inevitable. P.S. New book upload, seeking big shots to collect, flowers, reviews. Chapter 6. Divine Illumination Exposed, Shocking Kyushu People. You are listening at Novel Full. Audio. Cihang Jingjai, wearing a white dress inside the palace, Fan Qinghui, with her unparalleled charm, couldn't sit still. Unfortunately, Shifei Xian has already gone down the mountain to search for the Son of Destiny. Otherwise, she must have her disciples search for this immortal method. No, this matter is of great significance. I'm afraid it's still above our sect's Cihang Sword Classic. I cannot let the people of the 6 major demon sects get it. I will personally go once. Soon, Fan Qinghui also stood up in person. Heading towards the foot of the mountain. Song Valve. Song Ke also sent his eldest son Song Shidao to search for this item with Song Yuji. From various famous mountains, rivers, and aristocratic families, there are disciples who leave the mountains. One by one, the immortal old monsters began to venture out of their hiding places in search of this thing. Huang Yaoshi left Peach Blossom Island with Chengying. The wind quietly emerged from the back mountain and descended from the Huashan sect. Ning Daoqi, who has never been out of the mountains, also appeared in the territory of the Great Sui dynasty. Hulong Mountain Villa, Zhu ignored and also mobilized the 4 major spies. Do your best to search for the whereabouts of Shinjiao Jing. If Tianxiang Duku cannot be found, let's leave it at that for now. Yes, Lord Zhuang. Begonia, returning to the sea with a knife, and others are all respectful. Suxin, I will definitely save you. Zhu disregards his determination to shine upon the divine scriptures and is no lower than anyone else. Because he wants to save his beloved person. Zhengxin. Suxin's body has been extremely well preserved by him. If he finds the Divine Illumination Sutra, he should be able to resurrect it after practicing. So his determination to obtain the Divine Illumination Sutra is incredibly firm. Tianxiang Cardamom has no clue, it's his latest hope. Not only the 4 number 1 spies of the world's Xianhuang, they were all sent to the Dragon Protection Villa. Even in the dark, he personally took action to take away this cultivation method, thinking of, for decades, Suxin sleep soundly in the cold coffin, he was so heartbroken. Snow Valley. The Blood Blade ancestor looked at Di Yun with shock in his eyes. There is an immense fear. There is also an infinite greed, like a hungry wolf. He never imagined that there were really cultivation techniques in the world. The technique that can bring death back to life is simply unbelievable. Kid, is this all true? Bloodbath ancestor couldn't help but ask Di Yun. All of this is too incredible. Even if he saw it with his own eyes, he had some disbelief. Di Yun's face remained motionless, but his heart was filled with great shock. Having gone through many experiences, he certainly knows the dangers of the martial arts world. Do not kill the blood saber ancestor here, he must not be able to survive. Seeing that Di Yun remained silent, Blood Blade ancestor also guessed that everything was true. Di Yun has this skill. Give me the Divine Illumination Sutra, and I will spare you. Afterwards, how do you think we will work together to get out of this snow valley? Bloodthirst ancestor tried hard to put on a good speaking appearance and smiled. But instead, it became increasingly eerie and terrifying. Of course, his heart was not as good as what he said. Once you have obtained the Divine Illumination Sutra. He killed Di Yun. Di Yun still remained silent, pondering in his heart how to kill the Blood Blade ancestor. He dared not speak much, afraid of revealing his flaws in not fully mastering the Divine Illumination Sutra. Otherwise, he wouldn't be talking nonsense. I have already extinguished the blood knife. And Shueisheng in the distance also looked worried. She knows. The ruthlessness of Blood Blade ancestor, after obtaining the Divine Illumination Sutra, must have killed the person who knew everything, Di Yun. I can't live on my own. She immediately shouted. Di Yun, don't believe him, don't hand over the Divine Illumination Sutra. Upon hearing these words, Blood Knife's face changed greatly. Are you two little beasts really going to kill me until the end? The Blood Blade ancestor was furious when he saw that he couldn't succeed. Di Yun, don't fall for his trap. Let's kill him together. Suddenly, a deadly sound sounded. In another direction, a very disheveled figure appeared. It is Hua Taigan, this cunning and despicable person. The Blood Sword ancestor, who had originally planned to capture Di Yun, also changed his expression greatly. Okay. Di Yun immediately agreed. Kill the Blood Saber ancestor. Obviously, dealing with Hua Taigan is simpler than dealing with it. Whoosh. The Blood Sword ancestor drew his sword and slowly retreated. He didn't want to force too harshly, so the two of them really joined forces and began to retreat. For a while. In the Valley of Ice and Snow. Trilateral forces, harboring malicious intentions and engaging in intrigue. And the screen continues, at the highest level, one should meditate and sit in meditation, the divine light illuminates the mind and makes a decisive decision, the way of the primordial world, where the way walks with the gods, is the way of heaven, the revival of all things cannot be separated from light, and the wandering mind is too elusive. At this time, I rely on divine encounters rather than visual perception. The official knows to stop and the divine desires to act, following the principles of heaven, criticizing the great but, guiding the great orifices, because of course. Acting late and moving very little, yet already resolved, like a soil committee, standing up, looking around for it, full of ambition. Naturally, all things grow and develop, and this is a natural mechanism that cannot be heard: recovery from loss, resurrection from death, cycle of cause and effect, and cycle back and forth soon, on the golden list. Surprisingly, a mnemonic from the Divine Illumination Sutra emerged. Of course, it also made countless people ecstatic. The madness began with memories. Unfortunately, it is still useless. Although each one is clear and distinct. But what appears on the Avenue Gold list is that it comes from different directions and is very chaotic. In this way, countless writing styles can be deduced. Even infinite golden light shot out from it, almost illuminating the eyes of blind people. Even as powerful as Zhang Sanfeng, Wang Chongyang, Xiongba, and others, they cannot see everything clearly. It also shocked everyone. Unfortunately, although there are secret techniques, I can't remember them. The immortals on the golden list are already quite good, at least they have given us a chance to obtain this method. The crowd was constantly discussing. It's also a sigh of regret. Within the imperial palace of Zhengxin, even Ying couldn't see the complete secret script of the Divine Illumination Sutra clearly. He quickly announced to the world. Who can inform me of the news about the location of the Divine Illumination Sutra and directly reward me with the title of king? At this moment, the Emperor of Zhengxin's eyes were filled with endless fiery colors. Immediately order the Shadow Guard, Black Ice Platform, Luo Net and other intelligence organizations under their command to start deploying everywhere, searching for the whereabouts of the Divine Illumination Sutra. At this point, the screen went black. The review of Shenjiao Sutra has come to an end. And inside a small inn. After Su Bai ordered some beef and finished eating it. You can go straight to the guest room. I have checked the specific rewards after the inventory. The Divine Illumination Sutra of the top 10 Immortal Cultivation Techniques has been inventoried. Your second video reward settlement is in progress. P.S. New book upload, seeking big shots to collect, flowers, reviews. Chapter 7. The Fall of the Divine Illumination Sutra and Zhang Wuji's Ambition. You are listening at novelfull.audio. After settlement, the host can choose to receive the following rewards. 1. 100 years of skill. 2. Perfect level Divine Illumination Sutra's magical power. 3. A random divine level weapon. 4. The specific rewards will be accumulated and collected the next time. After listening, Su Bai's heart lit up with joy. It has to be said that these rewards are very impressive. 100 years of skill. I'm afraid it could directly turn Su Bai into a top-notch expert in the martial arts world. Perfect level Divine Illumination Sutra's magical power. Not to mention. It's 2 against the sky. Previously, it can be seen from the list that this method is shocking to the world. One of the strongest internal martial arts techniques is not nonsense. Not only does it have the ability to automatically protect the gas shield, but it also has a terrifying defense capability that is invincible against all attacks. It can even bring people back to life. As for a random divine level weapon. Although I don't know exactly what it is. But from the divine characters, it can be seen that this weapon is not simple. However, Su Bai still abandoned this divine level weapon first. After all, it is an external object. Perhaps useful for experts. But for him now. Even if it's a divine level weapon. It's also because babies can't use Gatling at all. After some hesitation. In the power of the century-old cultivation and the perfect level of the Divine Illumination Sutra cultivation. Su Bai still chose the Divine Illumination Sutra. After all, the power of the Divine Illumination Sutra is not just magic. It also carries the ability to resurrect and defend against the heavens. Almost perfect, except for uncontrollable toxins. Immediately, Su Bai made a choice. I choose the 2. Perfect level Divine Illumination Sutra's magical power. Su Bai also knew that these missed the Divine Illumination Sutra. I can't get it anymore. Immediately, a terrifying energy erupted within Su Bai's body, starting to transform his internal organs. Even terrifying true chi keeps wandering within the meridians. Quickly, his whole body underwent earth-shattering changes. The strong and pure true chi surged within him, as if it was about to burst out of his chest, swimming within the 8 extraordinary meridians. Even his mind twitched. It is the purple true chi that appears on the body. Undoubtedly, it is the Divine Illumination Sutra technique. It is truly amazing. Su Bai was overjoyed. Perhaps his current strength is comparable to that of Ding Dian, who was imprisoned for 10 years, and Di Yun, who ended up there. This is definitely the top expert in the martial arts world. Although it cannot compare to martial arts myths like Wang Chongyang and Zhang Sanfeng. But it's also quite strong. He was moved by a thought. It was the purple true chi that flowed throughout Su Bai's body, transforming into an approximately 1 Zhang Qi shield to protect her entire body. At this moment, he can be said to be invincible. It's incredibly terrifying. Great, now I can be considered invincible, at least I already have the ability to protect myself. And it can also resurrect others, making it the world's #1 divine doctor. Afterwards, in the martial arts world, besides some rebellious old monsters, there won't be many people who have killed me. Next, it's time to continue the inventory, damn it. Get excited for a while, Su Bai calmed down and began making the second video of inventorying cultivation techniques. The Great Ming Dynasty, Guangming Peak. Master, the Eagle King has sent someone to inquire that all the heroes of the world are searching for the Divine Illumination Sutra. Ask me if Mingjiao will also participate in this matter. He said he already knows the whereabouts of the Divine Illumination Sutra, and if the leader participates, he will take action immediately. Yang Xiao, report to Zhang Wuji, who has already become the leader of the Ming sect. Xiao Zhao on the side saw Yang Xiao coming here and hurriedly went to pour tea. Zhang Wuji naturally became shocked. This Divine Illumination Sutra can revive people's anti-heavenly technique. How could my grandfather, the White-Eyebrow Eagle King, know about this? Grandpa knows about this. Where is the Divine Illumination Sutra now? Zhang Wuji hurriedly asked. Yang Xiao said, the Eagle King has come to inquire. He has already identified the identities of the 2 people from the Jinbang Huishan Zhao Jing. Both of them are members of our Ming dynasty. The name of the person who saved people with the divine light scripture is Ding Dian, and the name of the person who died and came back to life is Di Yun. It is rumored that Ding Dian has been poisoned and died. As long as you find Di Yun, you can obtain the whereabouts of the Divine Illumination Sutra. Di Yun and Ding Dian were both from the Ming dynasty. With the influence of Mingjiao, it has almost permeated the Ming court and various aspects of the martial arts world. It is still very possible to find 2 people through natural search. What, those who practice the Divine Illumination Sutra? Isn't he able to save dead people? Why did he die on his own? Is it that doctors cannot self-medicate? Zhang Wuji was stunned. I thought even the dead could be saved, so those who practice the Divine Illumination Sutra naturally won't die. I didn't expect to die. He thought thoughtfully. It seems that although the Divine Illumination Sutra is powerful, it is not as magical. Of course, it is also possible that the person did not cultivate the Divine Illumination Sutra to their home. Or is it poisoning that specifically suppresses those who practice this method? Zhang Wuji guessed several possibilities. I am also quite disappointed in my heart. But this method indeed has its weaknesses. For example, being afraid of poisoning or something. They certainly didn't expect it. Ding Dian died of poisoning by seeking death. If he doesn't want to die and uses his divine power to illuminate the scriptures, toxins have no choice but to have the Divine Illumination Sutra to protect the body. Suddenly, Zhang Wuji's interest naturally decreased significantly. I already have the 9 Yang manual. It seems that the Divine Illumination Sutra is not very powerful either. Still afraid of poison. Maybe it's not as good as the 9 Yang manual. Both techniques are from the inner realm. Maybe there is still a conflict. Suddenly, Zhang Wuji's mood waned and he said, "My Mingjiao is called the Demon Gate, but that was a misunderstanding from outsiders before. After Zhang Wuji ascends to power, my demon sect cannot continue like this. The act of forcibly snatching someone else's martial arts skills cannot be done in this way. Besides, the Divine Illumination Sutra may not be as powerful either." Yang Xiao was taken aback and said, "What does the leader mean? We Mingjiao don't want this method anymore." Zhang Wuji said lightly. "If possible, this method is still necessary. After all, it cannot fall into the hands of some real demons to prevent chaos in the martial arts world. And if there are unscrupulous ways to snatch others' martial arts, our Mingjiao can also act on behalf of the heavens and correct our eyesight." Yang Xiao finished listening to this. When my eyes lit up, understand the meaning behind some of Zhang Wuji's words. Just don't grab it yourself. But when others snatch it, Mingjiao will do it by hand. Yes, I'll notify you immediately. Yang Xiao respectfully said and retreated. Zhang Wuji sat back in his seat. Xiao Zhao beside her looked at Zhang Wuji with loving eyes. Then he began to help Zhang Wuji pinch his legs. P.S. New book upload, seeking big shots to collect, flowers, reviews. Chapter 8, Top 10 Cultivation Techniques, Chapter 9, Beiming Divine Skill. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Although he doesn't have much interest anymore. But we still need to grab the divine scriptures. After all, Wang Chongyang couldn't use the 9 Yin manual. I haven't grabbed the 9 Yin manual and set it free. Zhang Wuji also doesn't want others to get this item. But he stopped doing it himself. He is also looking forward to the next video inventory. The great Han dynasty Tiandihui accompanied by the broken waves, Xiongba also walked onto the martial arts arena. As for Bu Jingyun and Nie Feng, they were already called out to search for the Divine Illumination Sutra. I don't know what the next inventory of cultivation techniques will be. Can my 3-point return energy make it on the list? The tyrant had an expectant expression on his face. And soon, in the midst of countless expectations. Above the sky, the purple energy surges, and the golden light stretches far and wide. The second inventory has appeared. Everyone was also excited and looked up at the sky. Here we go again. You can see another amazing skill now. I don't know which martial arts this time, the 9 Yin manual. The 9 Yang manual, or what? Soon, golden characters appeared again on the gold list. The second of the top 10 cultivation martial arts. Beiming Divine Skill with the emergence of the second cultivation method. In the world of Kyushu, countless wealthy people in the martial arts world also take a breath of air. Because it is similar to the previous Shinjuku scriptures. Surprisingly, they have never heard of this Beiming Divine Skill. Xiangyang City. Huang Rong asked Gu Jing. Brother Jing, have you ever heard of the Beiming Divine Arts? Gu Jing shook his head and said. This cultivation method. I really haven't heard of it before. And Wudong Mountain, everyone also turned to Zhang Sanfeng. In their view, the name of this Beiming Divine Skill seems to be similar to Taoist martial arts. As the leader of the Taoist sect, Zhang Sanfeng may know. Master, do you know the Beiming Divine Skill? A disciple asked. To the north of poverty lies the underworld sea, even the heavenly pool. Zhang Sanfeng is a scholar of heaven and a master of Taoism. I immediately understood the meaning of the word, Beiming Divine Skill. But he couldn't guess what kind of move this Beiming Divine Skill really had. The name of this cultivation is not easy. Using the name, Beiming. It's quite famous. The Great Song Dynasty, within Shaolin Temple. The sweeping monk also showed a complex expression. He is over 100 years old and only discovered the existence of Beiming Divine Arts by chance. That should be the martial arts of the Shaoyao sect. He just knows fame. I don't know the specifics. What is the origin of the expert who made the gold medal? Are you really a fairy, actually a scholar? I have been studying hard in the Sutra Pavilion for decades, and I don't know the origin of the Beiming Divine Arts. However, this cultivation method is indeed very terrifying. The crowd also began to discuss incessantly. Have you ever heard of the Beiming Divine Arts? I haven't heard of Beiming Divine Skill, but it sounds very impressive. And soon, the screen of the golden list appeared. Moo. A loud roar echoed through the sky, and a Kuanping emerged. The long-winged Baimo cloud sky is located downstream in the North Sea and upstream in the nine heavens. The sky is like a peng, and the sea is like a kuan. Kuanping, thousands of miles away, is still tiny in the sea of the North Sea. At night, Tai ignited the fire on the east wall, while Tianxi transformed into the North Sea fish. If the accumulation of water is not thick, then the burden on the boat is also weak. If you pour a cup of water over the pond, then mustard is your boat. If you place a cup, it will be sticky. The water is shallow and the boat is big. Looking at the scenes of text, everyone was shocked again. It's mysterious again. What exactly does it mean? How scary is it? Quickly, the screen reappeared and a biased young master appeared. He is dressed in white, handsome and extraordinary. It was Duanyu, and Duanyu before the infinite jade Bai. I saw myself appearing on the projection. Of course, I was also stunned. What is the situation? I actually appeared on the screen. Big boats and small boats carry everything. Big fish and small fish cannot be tolerated, compatible with martial arts from all over the world martial arts for my use. Any internal power that swallows the heavens and earth can be transformed into the water of the North Sea. And watching these scenes of golden characters, the heroes of Kyushu are all in awe. Many people have also speculated that this Beiming Divine Skill can swallow the heavens and earth, and its internal energy can be transformed into the water of Beiming. Perhaps it refers to the ability to absorb the internal energy of others. After all, this type of cultivation is widely seen in the martial arts world. The techniques of absorbing stars, absorbing skills, and transforming skills are all martial arts in the martial arts world that can absorb people's skills. Of course, these techniques have some similarities. That's all notorious. Is it another technique that absorbs people's internal energy? Is this a means of magic technique? What kind of cultivation method is it, even though it is a means of the demon sect? He compared Dantian to the Sea of the North, fearing that it meant that Dantian was infinite. The symbolism is that one's martial arts can endlessly absorb. This is not comparable to the general absorption techniques in the martial arts world. When everyone is constantly discussing, the screen is still continuing. A group of people stood together. Duanyu caught one of them casually. It can be seen from the screen. The internal strength of the people being strung together is like the Yangtze River flowing into the sea. Crazy began to move towards Duanyu's body. However, Duanyu did not stop at all, refusing to accept the arrival of mixed internal forces. These people's faces are being sucked and rolling constantly. Everyone's internal power attributes are different, modeled and chaotic. Absorbing so much internal energy at once. Is this kid seeking death? Ren Wuxing, who was rescued by Ling Huchong and Ren Ying from the demon cult, had a cold smile on his face. He practices the great technique of absorbing energy. Nature also knows the terrifying nature of this type of cultivation. Such a one-time absorption of countless people's techniques. It's like killing oneself like poison, but soon, he was surprised to find out. Duanyu just blushed, as if he had digested all the internal energy he had absorbed. How could it be? This kid's martial arts are so powerful. Ren Wuxing's face slightly changed. Dad, the other party's one is the cultivation martial arts Beiming Divine Skill, not the star-absorbing technique. Ren Ying reminded. He also saw that there was no way to compare the suction technique with the Beiming Divine Art. And afterwards, Ren Wuxing still stubbornly said. My suction technique is not inferior to him. I can do it too. Hulong Mountain Villa. Zhu ignored this and did not experience much fluctuation. He also saw that although Beiming Divine Skill was strong, it seemed that it was not much more powerful than his suction technique. It's just that, it seems that my martial arts can also be on the list. In the Battle of the Taihu Lake, in the name of the unbeaten urchin Gu Santong, he completely defeated the siege of countless masters from 8 major schools. It is evident that his suction technique is powerful. Afterwards, the screen continued. At this moment, Duan Yu is no longer young in appearance, but rather a more charming young man. Obviously, it has been a long time since I practiced the Beiming Divine Arts again. P.S. New book upload, seeking big shots to collect, flowers, reviews. Chapter 9. Terrifying Beiming Divine Skill, with internal power as strong as Beiming's. You are listening at novelfull.audio. At this moment, within the golden list screen, Duan Yu is practicing meditation. He was glowing all over, as if emitting infinite suction. Every acupoint in his body is like a vortex at this moment, devouring spiritual energy in the air. Wisps of spiritual energy entered Duan Yu's body, constantly expanding his dantian and strengthening his internal strength. With every breath, Duan Yu's internal strength surged wildly. It seems like there is never an end. His dantian is as boundless as the sea of the North Sea. At the end, outside Duan Yu's body, his true qi transformed into a wall of qi several meters thick, continuously devouring the surrounding spiritual energy. It also made countless people look foolish. This is too scary. Is it indeed a cultivation technique? No one can match this person's true energy. Even Zhang Sanfeng may not be able to do it, right? The people in the Kyushu rivers and lakes were shocked by the scene. When they cultivate their internal power, they also follow a gradual process. It usually depends on the year of cultivation. People with low talent can run hundreds of cycles, even after practicing for a few years, they often remain stagnant. But Duan Yu, who was on the gold list, was actually just a few weeks away. Internal qi is a visible enhancement to the naked eye. Such an increase in speed has left everyone stunned. In the picture, Duan Yu's body is like the bottomless sea of the North Sea, still sucking on the spiritual energy between heaven and earth. The northern underworld divine skill is unfathomable. In fact, the absorption of internal power by Beiming Divine Skill is only the lowest level application. Can transform into the North Sea, and all body acupoints can be transformed into a sea of dantian qi to store internal energy. Take heaven and earth as human beings, absorb the spiritual energy of heaven and earth. This is the northern underworld divine skill. Originally, Duan Yu was absorbing the energy of heaven and earth. Seeing this moment, everyone finally understood what Duan Yu had learned from heaven and earth. It is the energy of heaven and earth. In other words, it is the spiritual energy within heaven and earth. Everyone is in endless terror. This is such a domineering and terrifying technique. Unimaginable martial arts. Surprisingly, he treated heaven and earth as a peerless martial arts expert, absorbing the internal energy of this heaven and earth. It's simply unbelievable. It's so incredible. Fighting against the heavens and the earth is endless joy. This praise is a struggle against heaven and earth. The spiritual energy of heaven and earth is endless, no wonder Duan Yu keeps absorbing it. Could it be that one day, Duan Yu could absorb the spiritual energy of heaven and earth completely? What kind of transformation and star absorption techniques are useless in front of Beiming Divine Arts? Everyone was in endless fear. At this moment, they finally understood why the Beiming Divine Art was called the cultivation of immortal martial arts. Insufficient absorption of internal qi. Surprisingly, he went to absorb the power of heaven and earth. No wonder Duan Yu's internal energy was so terrifying before. And seeing this scene, many figures in the Great Song Dynasty's martial arts world know some information about the Beiming Divine Arts. Especially those from the Xiaoyao sect. It's even hotter in my heart. Damn it, that old man Wuyazi didn't even pass on my Beiming Divine Arts when he died. The Beiming Divine Skill is so powerful. It is countless more powerful than my star-absorbing technique. No, I must get this method. Starry in the Sea, the traitor of the Xiaoyao sect, Ding Chuanxiu, became furious. He was naturally jealous when he saw that the final stage of Beiming Divine Arts could absorb the power of heaven and earth. I'm looking for Li Qiushui and Wuyazi. Go to the Central Plains immediately. He immediately summoned his eldest disciple, Picking Stars, and announced his departure to the Central Plains. This cultivation technique is also too terrifying. Within the beggar's sect, Xiao Feng also had a stunning expression on his face. My own dragon subduing 18 palm is also considered a top-level martial arts skill. But in front of this Beiming Divine Skill, it feels like a clown. I already have the top-level external skill, the 18 dragon subduing palms. If you obtain the Beiming Divine Skill, you will be invincible in the world. When the Beiming Divine Skill is weak, it can absorb the internal power of martial artists. To the extreme, it can absorb the spiritual power of heaven and earth, it's invincible. Xiao Feng couldn't help but sigh. The Grand Qin Palace. Zhang is also extremely eager. If you obtain this method, even if you cannot live forever, you will be completely invincible in the world. Zhao Gao, immediately continue to let Luo Wang search for the Beiming Divine Skill with all his might, and you will definitely get it. Yes, Your Majesty. Zhao Gao respectfully said. Tianxia Hui, Xiong Ba is also envious, although he has 3 points of returning energy. But there is no such internal skill. Immediately said to Wen Chou Chou, Wen Chou Chou, immediately send disciples to search for this item. Yes. Leader. At this moment in Kyushu, both the righteous and the evil are tempted by the Beiming Divine Arts. Command after command, snatch this treasure. De Song, Gusu, Sanhe Zhuang, Yanzuwu, Morongfu also had a fiery expression on his face. Greed and ambition flickered in my eyes. Beiming Divine Skill, I wonder who holds this skill. If I learn the Beiming Divine Skill, I will be invincible in the world. Isn't it easy for me to restore the country? And at this moment, the place of the boundless jade wall. Duan Yu was also by chance entering the Langya blessed land. I saw the technique of the Beiming Divine Art and the stone statue of the immortal sister. After the leader of the Xiaoyao sect, Wuyazi, and his junior sister Li Qiushui gave birth to the daughter of Li Qinluo, later Wang Yuyan's mother, Mrs. Wang, they lived together in this place. There are martial arts secrets from all over the world hidden in the cave. Brothers and sisters have a deep and loving relationship, sometimes facing swords under the moon, sometimes I compose poetry before the flowers, which is quite joyful, but Wuyazi, Qin, chess, calligraphy, painting, medical divination, and astrology are all involved. He couldn't help but distance himself from Li Qiushui and created a jade statue of Immortal Sister. Its model was created based on Li Qiushui's sister. The jade statue is completed, and without a cliff, one becomes obsessed. With the jade statue, Li Qiushui was angry because Wuyazi no longer paid attention to her, intentionally looking for many handsome men to have fun, including Ding Chuanxiu. Naturally, Wuyazi left in a fit of anger. At this moment, unexpectedly, by chance, he obtained the Beiming Divine Skill and Lingbo Micro Step within the Putuan. Duan Yu naturally became ecstatic. I didn't expect it to be like the Golden List said, with the Northern Underworld Divine Arts. And did I get it? Duan Yu looked at the Meridian map and cultivation text on it. Completely surprised. Subsequently, an uncontrollable ecstasy appeared on the face. This is a cultivation technique, the Beiming Divine Art. At the same time, on the Golden List, specific records of the cultivation methods of Beiming Divine Arts have also been exposed. There are also mnemonics for cultivation and so on. P.S. New book upload, seeking big shots to collect, flowers, reviews. Chapter 10. Vibration from all sides, ambition ignored by Zhu. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. As the saying goes in Zhuangzi's Leisure Journey. To the north of poverty lies the underworld sea, even the heavenly pool. There is a fish, it is thousands of miles wide, and no one knows its cultivation as the saying goes. Moreover, if the accumulation of water is not thick, then the burden on the boat is also weak. Covering a cup of water on top of a pond, mustard becomes a boat, placing a cup is like glue, the water is shallow and the boat is big. Therefore, the martial arts of our sect prioritize accumulating internal strength. My internal strength is thick, and I can use all the martial arts in the world, just like the northern underworld. The Beiming Divine Skill draws the internal power of the world and belongs to me. The great water of Beiming is not self-generated. As the saying goes, 100 rivers converge into the sea, and the water of the sea is obtained by accommodating 100 rivers. The great immersion of the ocean, ending in accumulation. In addition to writing, there are also specific methods of meridian operation. Once cultivated, every part of the body can absorb internal energy. Of course, this exposure. There are also countless golden lights shooting out. Even the master of great martial arts can only see the parts clearly. Soon, the gold chart screen was completely updated. The inventory of Beiming Divine Arts has ended. And Duan Yu also happily kowtowed 1,000 times from inside the Longhuan Jade Cave. Obtained the Beiming Divine Skill and Lingbo Micro Step within the Putuan. After practicing for a while, it is to use the gentle steps of the waves to directly soar into the clouds and control the general. Rushed from the valley to the mountain. And coincidentally, I also met the person from Jinghu Palace. Look. He is the person in the sky who knows the northern underworld divine arts. Suddenly, a disciple shouted and recognized Duan Yu's appearance. Obviously, Duan Yu should be the owner of the Beiming Divine Arts. Shua. On the street, the gaze of countless disciples immediately fell on Duan Yu like a sword. Not good. Wealth moves people's hearts. Duan Yu also felt a chill in his heart, sensing a group of greedy gazes. Lingbo Micro Step. Activate. His figure flashed. Suddenly, Duan Yu disappeared into place. Pushi Duan Yu, who had gone far away, was covered in cold sweat, only to see some hidden arrows and weapons left in his original place. It's okay. Duan Yu wiped the sweat off his neck. Don't let him run away. The northern underworld divine arts are in his hands. The disciples shouted and chased wildly towards Duan Yu. Damn it, you forced me. I was chased for a while. Duan Yu's face also turned cold. He originally believed in Buddhism and did not want to kill anyone. But these disciples are forcing them, so there is no other way. Seek death. Then I will fulfill you all. Immediately, Duan Yu flashed and headed towards a person. Grab a big man's arm one by one. Instantly, the northern underworld divine skill is in operation. When the internal strength of the two great men was exhausted, their natural physical strength was useless, and they were forced to the ground, appearing as if they were in a state of exhaustion. And within Duan Yu's body, his true energy surged. Not good, this person knows magic, kill him. A disciple roared angrily. The long sword stabbed towards Duan Yu. Got it. Feeling stabbed, he was overjoyed. But unexpectedly, the long sword collided with Duan Yu's true qi inside his body, causing the tip of the sword to tilt and the blade to slide away from his side. And the other person threw a punch. With a bang, it hit his shoulder. Duan Yu stumbled back 2 steps. That disciple is overjoyed. He cultivates iron sand palms, which can shatter stones with a single slap. Duan Yu is dead set. Unexpectedly, Duan Yu's Beiming Divine Skill protected his body. I only felt a pain in my shoulder, but it shook the person's palm. How could it be possible? That disciple was full of terror. It's my turn. Duan Yu's eyes turned cold and he killed him. He absorbed a few people's internal energy again, and he was completely invincible. After a stick of incense. Amitabha Buddha, what a sin. You forced me in a dense forest somewhere. Duan Yu clasped his hands together. Under his feet, there were dozens of corpses. At this moment, he felt a bit embarrassed, but his eyes became brighter and brighter. Don't blame me. If you want to kill me, I will be the one who fights back. He is a kind person. I didn't originally want to learn martial arts, but I didn't want to cause slaughter. But under the pressure of these people, he can only fight back. After speaking, Duan Yu hastily buried their bodies. Then he embarked on the road to the 7 Calamities Valley. He still needs to save Zhongling just when Duan Yu was killing someone. The land of Kyushu is not peaceful either. Cihang Jingjai, Fan Qinghui also looked at the gold list with a serious expression on her face. This Beiming Divine Skill is indeed terrifying. It should be above the Cihang Sword Classic. If I could obtain this method, that would be great. Her face was filled with a fiery expression. Be sure to find this young man named Duan Yu. If it doesn't work, we can only rely on the tradition of compassion and tranquility. Relying on the bodies of Fan Qinghui and Shifeishuan. Hulong Mountain Villa. Zhu ignored with a look of shock on his face. The Northern Underworld Divine Skill transforms the body into the Northern Underworld, and all acupoints are like elixirs fields. This doesn't mean he has countless elixirs to store true qi. Such an infinite number of true qi, as if it were the sea of the North Sea. Zhu ignored and was shocked. Because in the martial arts world, there is an upper limit to the amount of true qi stored in a dantian for most people. The martial arts master has reached a certain level and it is difficult to improve. Many reasons are that the true qi of dantian has reached its maximum limit. His suction technique can also absorb true qi. He also often disguises himself to attack some people. But in recent years, his internal energy has remained stagnant. It's because dantian has reached the upper limit. There are 830 acupoints in the human body. If these 830 acupoints are all used to store true qi, it would be invincible in the world. Zhu ignored and became excited. If you really learn this Beiming Divine Skill, his internal energy is over 800 times that of a top-notch expert of the same level, nearly 1,000. Under the same level, they are almost invincible. Moreover, Beiming Divine Skill also has an ability to continuously expand the elixir field and increase the capacity of true qi. And it can also absorb the master's internal energy in the end. It can also absorb the spiritual energy of heaven and earth. This cultivation method has to be said to be too incredible. If he learns the Beiming Divine Art, not to mention the emperors of the Ming dynasty, there is a great chance for him to unify the 9 provinces. In the face of absolute strength, no one is useless. The Beiming Genie Guard has countless armies, and he can kill them all alone. Even on the battlefield, slaying generals and seizing flags. Even the 2 dam eunuchs, Lu Shi and Chao Huachan, from the Beiming East Factory and West Factory, will not be his opponents by then. Immediately, let Haitang from the world's top village and Shenwan San, the richest man of the Ming dynasty, make every effort to search for the whereabouts of Beiming Divine Arts. And find the location of Duan Yu. Zhu ignored the instructions. At this moment, Mo Men Zhu Yuyan's face was also full of excitement. This Beiming Divine Skill is definitely the top martial arts in the world. Not under the heavenly demon strategy of the Demon Gate. This cultivation method, the Beiming Divine Skill, is truly the top internal skill, even more challenging than the Divine Illumination Sutra. Although the Divine Illumination Sutra can be resurrected, its combat power is not as powerful as this technique. We must get him. I think he's even more powerful than the evil Emperor's relics. P.S. New book upload, seeking big shots to collect, flowers, reviews.